Shelley will introduce the song. We haven't had the hymn in a while. Please feel free to join us as we sing.
So yes, the hymn of the week is back, and we are thrilled here, especially because the hymn is actually a continuation of the worship, where we are again coming to God and adoring Him for the sacrifice that He did on the cross. But what I really love about this hymn is it's actually an answer to the prayer that Jesus made in John chapter 17. We've been meditating on this chapter in the last few weeks, the Bible Study Fellowship, if I'm sure most of you are part of. And my favorite part of that chapter is the last part, where Jesus is praying for each and every one of us. So every time we remember the cross, it's like, during communion we remember the cross. The Good Friday week we remember the cross. But I think, in that prayer, one thing that really struck me was how Jesus says, let all of them be glorified in me. Them, when He says them, it is you, it is me, it is each and every one of us. That night when He prayed that whole chapter, when He came to that end, He looked not just at the cross, but He looked at each and every one of us. And more than praying for His suffering, which was just one line, if it be thy will, take it away, that was the only line that He prayed for His suffering. He prayed for us. He prayed that we would be glorified. He prayed that we would be loved. And He prayed that we would be united in Him. As we sing this hymn, and just as we've heard, we have to be contagious in what we are, where we are, in glorifying God in our deeds, in our thoughts. I want you to sing, if you know the hymn, sing along with us as a worship, as a thanksgiving, because this hymn really takes you down as, I think the person who would have written it from a place of conviction, sitting at the scene of the cross and thanking God for the amazing sacrifice. But it just took me back a little bit to imagine what Jesus was going through when He was looking at the cross. He looked at us. So let's sing this song, or even follow the words, and worship Him as we do.
His looks for mine, no wonderful exchange. Clothed in my sin, Christ suffered 'neath God's rage. Draped in His righteousness, I'm justified. In Christ I live, for in my place He died. I cling to Christ and marvel at the cost. Jesus forsaken, God estranged from God. Bought by such love, my life is not my own. My praise, my all shall be for Christ alone. His robes for mine, what cause have I for dread? God's daunting law, Christ mastered in my stead. Faultless I stand, with righteous works not mine, saved by my Lord's vicarious death and life. I cling to Christ and marvel at the cost. Jesus forsaken, God estranged from God. Bought by such love, my life is not my own. My praise, my all shall be for I cling to Christ and marvel at the cost. Jesus forsaken, God estranged from God. But by such love, my life is not my own. My praise, my all, shall be for Christ alone. His robes for mine, such anguish none can know. Christ God's beloved, condemned as though his foe. He as though I, accursed and left alone. I as though him, embraced and welcome home. I cling to Christ and marvel at the cost. Jesus forsaken, God estranged from God. But by such love, my life is not my own. My praise, my all, shall be for Christ alone.